Good afternoon. My name is Mazumdar. I'm from Wabtec Corporation. First of all, I would like to thank Mining Hub for having us here and present our talk on path to zero emissions haulage. In mining, I think one of the key activities is haulage. We haul millions of tons every day, and we are slowly marching towards low carbon future. And there are a lot of technologies that are involved in getting us to that point. I will touch upon one such technology, which we call trolley. And of course, as technology emerges, we see down the road there could be a full electric mining truck driven by batteries or by other sources, or it could be a combination. So it's an exciting time for us to be part of this journey and trying to create a sustainable future for mining. Before I get into the talk, I would like to briefly introduce who is Wabtec Corporation and what do we do for mining? What's our portfolio look like for mining? And then I'll straight jump into the trolley piece. We will provide some history of our involvement with trolley and what's coming next in terms of the emerging technologies. Wabtec Corporation is an integration of three large individual entities, which is Wabtec Corporation, Favely Transit, and G Transportation. These three companies merged together in 2019. The Wabtec Corporation, in its current state, came into existence. Favely is predominantly a transit solution, and the G Transportation piece is freight equipment and services, and mining is part of the freight equipment, the other piece being locomotives. So when we say Wabtec, it's a former G Transportation, and we are in the business of creating electric propulsion drive systems in the mining space. If you look back into the history, about late 1950s, Wabtec has the first electric truck drive system at 85 tons. In those days, 85 tons is pretty much considered a large mining truck. Over the years, technology evolved and we developed additional portfolio items. And say when we talk of today, we have about a billion plus operating hours and close to actually 15,000 drive systems. Our drive systems range from 100-ton, which we nowadays call a smaller truck, to about 400-ton payload trucks. And we are integrating a trolley assist system for those trucks. As you can see in the lower right, that's our control system, the heart and soul of the intelligence that our electric drive system has, and that's something we do in-house. But what else does electric drive system for a mining truck include? We include, most importantly, the complete motorized wheel. So these trucks are run by a diesel engine and have rear wheels which are electrified. We have the control system. We have the alternator, which converts power from the engine to electrical power. And again, this is electric truck drive system, so we have an electric braking system, which is the retarder. And again, this portfolio is for 100 tons to 400 tons. Some of the reasons why we really focus on electric drive systems is because the other option is, of course, mechanically driven vehicles, which we all know of. With electric drive system, you have fewer components. When it comes to haulage system, speed is very important, especially on grade. So we have a higher speed, higher gradability, and more importantly, when such a large truck is going down, you have a broader retard envelope, right, which helps you run the truck safely. Safety is probably the single most important factor that we take into consideration for all our systems. So we talk about mining, one Wabtec mining, as we just said. Mining drive systems is one piece of it. The other area where we are actively involved is the digital mining. We have, most recently you may have heard about our collision avoidance system, which is an extremely important factor. And any of these factors, all it does is improves your productivity in your operations. A third element that I would like to talk about here is our freight equipment and services. So we are doing these locomotives. I mean, it's been one of our core businesses worldwide, and we have the support infrastructure to support these equipments wherever they go in the world. Charging and power infrastructure. That's a newer division that addresses pretty much the talk I'm going to give on the trolley piece that comes out of the charging and power transfer. Anytime you have a mining truck, cooling is a very important factor. You need to keep systems cool. And we have the innovative cooling solutions in our family of products. Outside of that, we have rail car movers, which is called shuttle wagon. That also belongs to the Wabtec family. And of course, power generation. That's stationary as well as part of marine applications. So if you look at the overall broader portfolio, we have the different elements of Wabtec, which we call as one Wabtec because these are all different business units. They all come together to create the most efficient and sustainable solution for mining. And this portfolio, what it truly indicates is what we see are the key trends in mining. It is automation, it is connectivity, and it is electrification. And through our portfolio, these are the areas that we try and address. And again, for mining, it's just not mining. We are into responsible mining to make sure it is safe, it is sustainable, and it's productive. So that's essentially what we try and address. Getting into trolley assist system, we have heard or have seen, equipment, vehicles running on overhead power, and this is no different. Trolley assist is basically drawing power from overhead lines to propel the vehicle, and this overhead power could be supplementing the power from the onboard diesel engine. It could cut off the diesel engine, run it fully electric, or a combination, right? The biggest benefit that we see with the trolley assist is speed on grade. In open pit mining, pits are getting deeper and grades are getting steeper. So in order to maintain your productivity, it is important that any such technology helps you with that. And what trolley does, it increases the speed of the truck while on the grade. It decreases fuel consumption. As we said, if you're drawing power from the overhead line, you don't need to burn the fuel to get that power. So basically, on a grade, the engine consumes the most fuel. And if you're able to cut that piece out, you have significant fuel savings. If you're not burning enough fuel through your engine, of course, you extend the overhaul schedule of the engine, which is a very important activity in terms of maintenance. And if you're not burning enough fuel, you are reducing your emissions. So that's again one of the key motivations for going into technology like this. And as technology evolves further, when you have, let's say, batteries on board your vehicles, you need to charge them. You could charge it from your overhead power line. So if you look at a holistic picture, it not only addresses your present day needs, it also addresses your future needs to some extent. Trolley system, as we call it, is our solution as we call it. We provide it as a kit. Oftentimes, we see that a mine is running with an existing fleet of trucks, and then as the pits get deeper and your haul roads are now long enough, that is the time you would like to implement trolley or have the most benefits of trolley. But that doesn't happen on day one. And that is something we realized that, okay, we have to design a system which could be implemented on a truck that is already running in the field, right? It is one thing to do stuff in the factory, It's a whole different game, and you have to do it on an existing operating fleet. So we created a kit which could be implemented in the field and, have the asset converted to trolley. As I said, trolley is again something that has been, Wabtec has been involved with trolley. Again, we talked about the first electric drive system. In the same time, we did have trucks running with power from overhead line, which was in the 60s. As time went by, technology evolved. The first significant installation of trolley for mining was in the early 90s, I would say, in South Africa, where really a very large fleet was converted to trolley. As technology improved further, we went from DC technology to AC technology. And then again, we started looking, and the payloads increased. I mean, in the early 80s, 90s, you see most of the trucks were like less than 200 tons. Post year 2000, we started working on solutions in 300 to 400 ton class. So payload significantly increased. As the payload increased, we again started to reevaluate the trolley requirements, because we said with trolley you would like to increase the speed. Increased speed means increased power. That power has to come from somewhere, which is the overhead line. Do we have the right infrastructure to support that, right? So that was the thought. So while all this was going on, what we did was we did develop the kit, and in year 2020, we had the first series of field conversions on a 240-ton class truck, where it was an existing running mine, and the trucks were converted to trolley via the kit that we just talked about. And we did one installation in Europe and one in Canada. So when you talk about kit, of course, what do you talk about? We are talking about, again, depending on the truck, we are talking about you have to have the power collection device, which is a pantograph. That's a key. That brings the power into the truck. Then you need to have a control system for the trolley, which is your trolley control box. We need some miscellaneous equipment for power surge arresters and inductors for current limiting, etc. But then another key component is your existing propulsion system. That also has to have some upgrades depending on what kind of hardware is installed. So all these factors, they get into, and we have provided this whole solution as a upgrade kit, and it is field installable, and that's something we have demonstrated. Let's shift our attention to the pantograph. This is a new development. Pantographs have been used in mining for a very long time, but again, in line with our thoughts on electrification or electrified equipment, we designed a pantograph which is truly electric. This is manufactured within our charging and power transfer group in Germany. And the key difference of this pantograph with any other available is it is electrically actuated. It's an electric motor and drive system that drives the pantos up and down. And what this does is, and not only that, even once it's lowered and you have to put the latches, etc., everything is electrically actuated. So this is truly electrical pantograph. When you have an electrical system like this, safety is again a very important factor. So say in a mining environment, it is very much possible that you lose your control power or something happens like that. In such situations, we have put in a feature wherein the pantograph will automatically disengage from the line, keeping the truck operation safe. And it transfers the power back to the diesel engine. So that is something we have done without having anybody to intervene, because the last thing you want is you have some trouble on the truck and you have power from the overhead line coming into the truck. You don't want that. So that's something we have done. Other than that, we have, we can track the catenary pretty accurately. We want the operator to be safe. Shouldn't have to look at the lines and find out where it is. Or as you are nearing the end of a line, or as you're entering the line, you shouldn't have to make, any special efforts. This is all supported through an operator assist functionality. When you talk about the specs of the pantograph, it is good for a 3 kV line, which is pretty much the max that you could probably have given today's system designs. And it can draw up to 2500. So it's close to about 7 megawatts of power that you can draw through this pantograph. The raising and lowering times are in the, say, 6 to 8 second range, which is normal. We have a force which is adjustable. So depending on the height of the line, you could adjust the force. So all of these features, they're all included in our control software that really ensures that you have a seamless operation from diesel to trolley and back, and you get the most benefits out of this system. From a spec standpoint, we said this is 6,000 cycles per year, but again, the life of this is 60,000 cycles plus, so 10 years. The pantograph guidance system. So this is also something that's engineered in-house. It's a very simple system. Through sensors, proximity sensors, we track where is the line with respect to the position on the pantograph, and we display that information to the operator. So when the operator is driving, all he or she needs to do is look at the dashboard, and you know where you are with regards to the line, and you can keep driving safely. Again, this is something, it can be installed while, even if a pantograph has been there in the field, you can go ahead and install it. It is pretty much a plug-and-play system. And this is a concept of our dashboard display. It is very simple. It just gives you indications based on color. A green means good, a red means you need to take action, orange means be alert. So utilizing very simple concepts like this, we make sure that the mining truck is operating safely, and there is no additional steps that the operator has to take. Here is the actual operation of the truck operating on the line. Now you can see the conditions. This is extremely icy conditions. Now, not all mines will have icy conditions, but you will have rain, and fundamentally, it is the same requirement. It is the traction control. There is no slipping or sliding. So this is where the torque control comes into play. Normally, these trucks would run at, say, 8 to 10 kilometers, and now you're almost doubling the speed. There's a chance that the tires will break and damages. None of that happens, as you can see, and it is just cruising along. And I just want the second truck to come to the end, which will kind of show you as it nears the. Okay, there you go. It's nearing end of the line. It sends a signal, and you will see the panto falls, and the speed of the truck goes down as well. So this truck, it was probably running at about, say, 18 or 20 kilometers. Now speed fell down to about 10. It happens gradually. So that is truly the benefit of the system. In conditions especially like this, when it's extremely icy, sometimes you don't know how is the condition of the wire, or is the wire bringing in the right power, is there arcing, etc. So we have a special feature that we built in. We don't want crews to go up and check the line and measure anything. You can run the truck as a meter, and the pantograph senses the condition of the line along the way. And if indeed you see there are some spots where you have, say, ice or something else, it could also clear that off. So that's the other benefit. You can also use this as a sort of a meter. So yeah, pretty interesting. Coming to the benefits that I've been talking about, when you look at a trolley operation like this, we said, okay, we'll take a 1 kilometer stretch, 10% grade, which is pretty much a very steep grade, and with a 2% rolling resistance, which means it's a 12% gradability. When it was running on diesel, it was running at about 11 kilometers. When it was on trolley, the speed became 21. Just doubled, almost doubled. And similarly, the fuel rate, I'm sorry I had that in gallons, I should have converted to liters, but regardless, the diesel rate, which in the diesel mode was 120 gallons, whereas in the trolley, when it was on trolley, it dropped by almost 90% to 14. That's basically the idling fuel consumption. When you factor in the cost, you can see that, okay, with my trolley operation, it will be the idling fuel cost plus electricity cost. We took a cost of about, again, we did it in the US, so about 6 or 7 cents. So basically on this run, the electricity cost came to about $6.50, and the diesel cost was about 30, 5 times. And these are benefits. That's something that we have measured. And this is where truly, a trolley system makes a big difference. And again, I put in the emissions reduction, but fundamentally, if you look at the economics and the productivity, that is what truly defines why trolley is such a relevant technology in today's operations scenario. I'll talk briefly about the emerging technologies. And again, the theme here is low carbon trucks. So we know trucks have been powered by diesel engine and a rear wheel electrified. Then we are saying, okay, how about a hybrid? Meaning, just like a hybrid car, you have the diesel engine and also batteries in there. So the battery supplements some of the load complements some of the load on the diesel engine, or adds power, whichever the case might be. Or you could have a scenario where you have the truck with fully batteries, no engine, and you have trolley, which is, again, helping you for propulsion as well as for charging. So this is evolving our journey towards, truly green propulsion system or a low carbon propulsion system while maintaining your productivity. We had done an analysis. This was a very detailed analysis with lots of parameters, but what we said was, okay, you have 3 kinds of haulage. You have downhill, uphill, and flat, right? And then you have a baseline case where we said, okay, you have trolley plus battery. You have a stationary charging system, which means you have to take into account the charging times. So we had multiple factors, and we said, okay, with whatever technology we use, how does the energy cost in dollars per ton versus productivity in dollars per ton or tons per hour look like, right? So your x-axis is productivity and y-axis productivity, x-axis is your energy cost. So we would like the energy cost to shift left and the productivity to go up. And what we found that a trolley with a longer haul truly gave the most benefits. And this is what we have seen. If you're running trolley for half a kilometer versus if you're running trolley for a 3 kilometer, obviously the one with the 3 kilometer ramp will give you the most benefits in terms of cost savings and productivity. So which was not a surprise. The charging and power infrastructure group within Wabtec is also focusing on the various charging technologies, because for on-road vehicles, batteries are becoming common. So you have to charge the battery. So you have depot charging or you have dynamic charging. So we have two technologies. We have one for the buses, and then one for ferries. And they come in different powers, but if you look at that, bus charging, we have up to 2 megawatts, 2.2 megawatts, whereas in the ferry charging, we have up to 15 megawatts, and we are increasing that further. What we are doing right now currently is to see how can we bring those technologies into a mining operation, because as time goes by, there will be these large vehicles with batteries that will have charging needs. So we're going to have some of that also. So that's also something Wabtec is working on, and there is one difference between on-road application and mining. It is the harsh environment. That is something we definitely have a lot of experience with, and we have to always keep in mind that just because something is working in a nice building will work in a mine. Absolutely not. And that's where some of the design challenges come in. I mean, the extreme environmental harshness is something which also truly shows what could be used and what cannot be used. So that's something where we are cognizant of and working on. With that, in conclusion, I would say we all feel that the future is electric, but trolley is your bridge. I mean, as technologies develop, as new energy storage technologies or engine technologies or stationary fuel cell technologies, they evolve. I mean, you still have to run your existing assets. And a trolley is one way for you to maintain those assets and get your reduce your fuel savings and yet get your productivity up. So that's what our hope is, and that's what we are working towards. That while all these other technologies evolve, we do have a technology that is proven and that can actually lead you to the low carbon future that we have been talking about. So we are excited about this, and we expect to see more and more installations of this technology in the coming days. Thank you.